Welcome back, everyone. Lance Scurv here, the Scurv Podcast. First of all, I want to thank everyone for their nice, kind words on my 25th anniversary of being a content creator, starting in February of 2001. Wow. Let me tell you something. I've seen social media, cyberspace, the internet change so much. I've been creating every single day since I got on. Of course, if I missed a day, I would make up for it by doubling up. But I would compare it to a surfer riding a wave. Some waves are rough, but if you have the right balance, you can get through it. Some are a little more gentle, but the waters are never the same. And so the online atmosphere was never the same. I will say though, for those who know what it was like around those 25 years ago, it was so much more genuine, so much more sweeter, and it was less profit, less advertising, less pressure. It was more human to human contact. And I miss the fellowship and camaraderie that I had, especially when I sorted out on Black Planet, AOL, and even in the late 90s. I mean, I would surf the internet with web TV before I got on with a computer. Well, I'm going to do a show on that, probably a live show, so I can interact with everybody. But I just wanted to say thank you for the kind words that's spilling in. I made the comment that it's been 25 years and a few of you have caught on to that. And it's like, it made me really feel good. And I'm looking forward to the next 25 years, but it's different now. And I want to go deep in on that particular topic when I do it. And again, it's going to be live. I'll probably do it tomorrow. Anyway, we have Neil Frazier coming up. By the time you see this video, we would have already been on. But the whole social media thing has changed our lives. And this is why this piece is named or titled, Privacy is a Luxury in the Age of Exhibitionism. Exposure is a cage. Right? It's a whole different thing. What you see now in social media and the exposure you get and the reasons why people do it is a completely different thing today as it was yesterday. There were no expectations back in those days. Just camaraderie, brotherhood, sisterhood, just a wonderful experience. But let me ask you, what if the greatest trap in your life is not your mistakes, not your fears, and not your failures, but the noise around you? That constant pressure to be seen, heard, noticed, and validated pulls people into a life they never chose. It creates a world where silence feels like death and attention feels like oxygen. The noise tells you that if no one sees you, you don't exist. So many share their lives, not because they want to, but because they fear becoming invisible. Silence feels like disappearance. Stillness feels like irrelevance. That fear becomes a habit, and the habit becomes a lifestyle. Over time, people stop living and start performing. The digital world doesn't reward depth. It rewards exposure. It doesn't care who you are inside. It only cares about how you look on the outside. It turns people into characters in a story they don't control, chasing reactions instead of meaning. In that world, silence feels dangerous. Privacy feels strange. Discretion feels like weakness. But that belief is part of the trap. It trains people to confuse attention with value and visibility with worth. The truth is simple and uncomfortable. Noise creates dependence. Silence creates freedom. And most people are addicted to the noise without even realizing it. Exposure feels like power, but it isn't. It's a chain. The more you show, the more you depend on reactions. The more you depend on reactions, the less control you have over your life. Applause becomes a drug. Approval becomes fuel. Criticism becomes poison. Your emotions stop belonging to you. When your sense of worth comes from the outside, you no longer own yourself. Your mood, confidence, and identity are controlled by opinions you can't manage. Today you're praised. Tomorrow you're ignored. The next day you're attacked. Nothing is stable. Silence breaks the cycle. A low-profile life removes the need for constant feedback. It restores emotional control. It builds independence from praise and protection from criticism. It creates a center that does not move with the crowd. True power is not loud. It does not beg for attention. It does not chase validation. It doesn't need witnesses to feel real. It exists without an audience. Discretion is not weakness. It's protection. What you don't show cannot be judged, used, twisted, or weaponized. What you keep private stays yours. Privacy creates safety. Silence creates boundaries. A low-profile life gives you control over your story. You choose what to share. You choose when to appear. You choose when to disappear. That choice is power. When everything is public, nothing is sacred. When everything is exposed, nothing is protected. Silence preserves identity. Discretion preserves dignity. Privacy preserves peace. In a world built on oversharing, restraint becomes strength. Ask yourself, who would you be if no one was watching? What would you choose if there was no audience? What would matter if no one can see your decisions? If your answers change when the crowd disappears, then your life is being shaped by attention and not purpose. People who live quietly don't live empty lives. They live focused lives. They move slower. They think deeper. They choose carefully. They build without noise. They grow without pressure. They experience moments instead of recording them. They feel life instead of posting it. They live instead of performing it. That depth creates a kind of peace that attention can't buy. Silence is not a retreat. It's a strategy. It makes you unpredictable. It makes you unreadable. It protects your plans and your direction. It keeps your energy intact. Noise makes people easy to read, easy to study, easy to influence, easy to manipulate. Exposure creates patterns. Patterns create predictability. Predictability creates control. Silence removes that advantage from the world. It creates mystery, and mystery creates power. Low profile is not hiding. It is choosing when and where to exist. It is selective presence, not absence. Constant comparison destroys confidence. Endless visibility fuels anxiety. The need for attention creates emotional instability. The mind becomes dependent on stimulation instead of stability. Silence builds emotional regulation. It teaches calm. It strengthens focus. It restores inner balance. It builds identity from within instead of from reactions. A quiet mind is harder to control. A grounded person is harder to break. A self-directed life is harder to manipulate. Peace becomes the reward of discretion. Exposure steals attention. It pulls people out of the present moment. Life becomes content instead of experience. Moments become material instead of memories. Food becomes pictures. Travel becomes performance. Joy becomes proof. Nothing is fully lived because everything is being documented. Silence restores presence. It brings people back into their bodies, their minds, and their lives. It makes moments real again. Some people live for recognition. Others live for meaning. Recognition is loud and empty. Meaning is quiet and deep. Recognition fades. Meaning lasts. Recognition depends on others. Meaning depends on self. One life is fragile, the other is stable. Sooner or later, everyone must choose between being seen and being free. You cannot fully have both. Exposure ties you to opinions. Silence releases you from them. The world teaches people to fear invisibility, but invisibility is not disappearance, it's independence. Silence is not emptiness, it's concentration, it's strength, it's control, it is peace. Those who master silence stop being controlled by noise. They stop chasing attention. They stop performing. They start living. True power is quiet. True freedom is unseen. True strength is built in silence. Silence is not hiding from the world. It is choosing yourself over the world. It is a decision to stop performing and start living. It is the moment you stop chasing reactions and start building reality. In a culture addicted to noise, choosing quiet becomes an act of courage. It means you no longer need permission to exist, approval to feel whole, or attention to feel valuable. Discretion becomes your shield. Privacy becomes your sanctuary. Stillness becomes your strength. You stop leaking your energy into spaces that do not serve you. You stop feeding systems that profit from your insecurity. You stop trading your peace for applause. And in that space of silence, something powerful happens. You begin to hear yourself again. Freedom is not loud. Freedom is not viral. Freedom is not visible. Freedom is waking up without pressure to perform. It's moving without explanation. It's choosing your path without needing witnesses. It's knowing who you are when no one is watching and being at peace with that identity. When you stop living for the crowd, you start building for the future. When you stop chasing attention, you start attracting purpose. When you stop proving yourself, you start becoming yourself. Silence becomes your foundation. Discretion becomes your strategy. And stillness becomes your discipline. And in the end, you realize the truth that changes everything. True power doesn't announce itself. True strength doesn't beg to be seen. True freedom doesn't need approval. It moves quietly, builds deeply, and lives fully, without noise, without fear, and without chains. There is definitely a benefit to moving this way, and I've fully embraced it as a person who has seen the good, the bad, and the ugly in the world of cyberspace. I hope this has helped you. I've seen people come and go. I've seen people break down with anxiety because of the opinions of others, or if they couldn't perform the way they used to. I've seen a lot of psychological episodes happen in my time online. I've seen people shine brilliantly and then disappear out of sight. And it wasn't always good. You have to be careful when you're out here. And as a veteran who has been out here for a long time, 25 years, I can say you have to know yourself. You have to be yourself. You have to resist the temptation to change so you can go viral, so you can go popular. As myself, Lance Scurv, or Scurv as people like to call me, which means still can't understand racism and violence. Style created from an urban radical voice. I evolved, but I never changed at the core. Never. And that was my vow that I made on my first day in cyberspace, on the internet. I said, I'm always going to be myself. And 25 years later, after so much attention that I didn't seek out, I shared my mind and got reactions, sometimes more, sometimes less. It landed me in different places, in the media. If you ask 20 people about who I am, you just might get 20 different reactions. And I'm okay with that because I have nothing to prove. I am who I am. And it's that stability that I've always held on to. No matter what I was going through in life, I knew who I had to be online. And that person is myself. If I was angry, if I was sentimental, romantic, a bit on the adult side, whatever it was all me. So I have no excuses. And I'm looking to go deeper into human nature, looking to go deeper into sharing my innermost thoughts, because I'm at that ripe age of maturity where there's no shame in me opening up. And again, if 5 people come by and like what I do, I'm fine with that. If 100 people come by, I'm fine with that. If 1 million come by, it won't change me. I'm going to stay the way I am while growing and evolving. And that's the thing you can't let cyberspace rob from you. I've seen grown people who live their lives and raise children, married, divorced, or maybe widowed. They get in cyberspace and get affected by the attention they get. They never got this attention before, and it changed them. It made them go into places that really they shouldn't have gone into. And I thank the Creator for being exposed to so much before I even knew what an internet was. So I was armed and ready for the entities that would eventually come around me. So I was never swayed. It was just another lesson. And I'm really and truly interested in hearing from you, vibing with you, growing with you, and learning with you. That's what gets me going out here. Whether I'm known or not, it's a beautiful thing. Anyway, much love to you all. I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of these words. Don't let the need for attention and approval sway who you are. Because the most important thing is that you live life to the fullest, and it's not just a post or something to go viral. Leave it alone sometime and just experience life without trying to document it. I've learned that a long time ago. Thank you so much. Peace.